Hey everyone, we are going to start on our unit number 2, and it's about measurement. So we're actually going to be on page 11, and so the last page that we would have done is this 3-hole bottle lab. Page 10 is empty at the moment, which is over here, but right now we're on page 11, so we need to set up our page for Cornell Notes. So it's been a while since we've done this, so we draw a line all the way across the top. Use that top line as kind of a guide, and then we follow this red one all the way down. And then we draw an extra line one space down, and then over here we've got this box for our name and the date, which will be 10/22/20. All right, so our topic for today is measurement, and so we'll write that up top. Okay. And then our essential question is, how do scientists measure? So we're talking about measurement. Our essential question is, how do scientists measure? And we're going to go through our slides really quick. So there's mainly two different kinds of measurements. There's the metric one, and that's what basically the whole rest of the world uses, maybe minus one or two countries. But then there's the USCs, the United States Customary Units, and that's what we use, and I think two or three other countries. It's not common, obviously. Everyone else is using the same system, and we'll talk about why that's important later, but let's write down these first. So we have metric, and that is what we're going to call a system of units. So it's the metric system. So let's underline that. And then we have USC, which is the United States Customary Units. And that's what we use. So if we were to think of some examples of what we use for measurement, it would be like gallons or inches or feet, um, leagues, what else? Ounces, pounds, those sort of things. The metric system, though, would use centimeters, meters, liters, um, grams, kilograms, stuff like that. And we're going to compare the two a little bit as we keep going. So the metric system has a certain set of units and like places that we use them. So this picture on the right is really helpful because it shows a bunch of different ones. But we're not going to use all of them. That's pretty advanced stuff that you'll see there. But we will be using several of them. So let's break it down into kind of the four main ones. So metric system units. Underline. And then let's go length first. So to find length, we would be using meters. And there's this little m before the word meters, and that's how we actually abbreviate it. So if I put like 25 meters, I could just put 25m. It's a lowercase, which is also important. We'll get to that later as well. So we have length, we have, I wonder if I should put a space in between. I'll put a space. Mass, which we're going to use grams or kilograms. In this case, we'll just put kilograms. Time, which is pretty universal. I feel like most people understand why that's important. That's in seconds. Now, obviously, there are branches off of these. So, like, I could put just regular gram or kilometer or millimeter. Seconds, we could do nanoseconds. Don't I guess I've never heard kiloseconds, but we do minutes and hours and stuff like that. And then volume, which we would use a liter. So we'll be using these in different experiments, and we'll need to be able to use the different metric versions for when we do these experiments. And we'll have to know the difference between them and how to figure them out and how to measure them out. It's kind of fun. So we've got those. Now let's go on to the metric conversions. And so this chart here is pretty cool. It tells us kind of how we can move a decimal from, let's say, a basic unit of meter, but I want it in centimeters because I'm making something small. So if I have 10 meters of material, but I want to cut it out centimeters, I am able to actually use this tool here. It's like a step stool or some steps, and it allows me to convert or make a conversion from one unit into a different one. So we're going to draw this out actually. So I'm going to actually make the boxes after I draw the words. So let's do kilo, put space, hecto, deca, it's a D. That's with a K also. And then we have basic. And then deci, centi, and milli. So these are all called prefixes, pre meaning before. So I'll put a little dash after all of them. Obviously basic actually is itself. That is all. And what this creates is a set of steps. And so I'm actually going to draw it like that. So I am putting a line above and then going a space below. To make my boxes. And make it look so good. So here's my scale. Underneath basic, I am going to write those basic units. So we have meter, liter, gram, and we could do seconds and stuff, but I think these are the main three. So meter, liter, gram. This is what we add the prefixes to. So kilometer, kiloliter, kilogram, or milligram, milliliter, millimeter. Those are things that go in front of our basic unit. So this is kind of the where it goes back to is this one. This is the main thing. So there's that, and I think so. We have this. What is it called? A way of remembering the order. So we could call this King Henry died by, so the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Now notice how the first letter goes along with the first letter of the thing above it. So King for kilo, Henry for hectode, died for the D for deca, B for basic for by, drinking deci, chocolate centi, and milk for milli. So that's kind of a way of remembering how these kind of work out. So we're going to be doing a bunch of examples of how to use this stuff, but this will be a good reference for when you are actually doing it. Anyway, this is our notes. Take those down on page 11, and then we can add it to our page 11 here. So it was measurement, page 11. And that's our start of unit 2. So we could put a unit 2 box. So that we know where unit 2 starts. I could probably put a unit 1 up here as well. All right, that's it for today. Bye.